Hello friends, my name is Katie from Eternal Flame, and today I thought I'd share with you a quick chat and flip through of my Hobonichi A6 HON in 2025. So if you're interested in checking out how I've been using my daily spreads for the first like 20-ish days in 25, please stick around. Thanks everyone. Before we get right into it today, I of course wanted to take this quick moment to thank you all so very much for taking the time to join me today. As always, I very much appreciate your engagement, so if you like this video, definitely let me know by giving it a thumbs up and making sure you're subscribed. Alrighty friends, so I just wanted to do a quick intro to this planner because I think this will be my first flip through and talk using this planner. So this is the Hobonichi A6 HON English version that I selected for 2025. It's one of 7 planners that I have been trying to keep up with in the new year. I wanted to share with you all a quick comparison to my Hobonichi weeks, which is this one right here for 25 that I've shared flip throughs with or in, so I will not spend too much time in here, but I just want to show you how I've been using this planner. So you can see here I've been pretty active in the monthly spreads, which I'll show you in contrast to the A6 HON, and the weekly spreads I've actually reverted back to the original days in my Hobonichi weeks where I was using it to drive productivity, keep track of major events in the week, and things like that. So last year I kind of used it a little bit for journaling, which didn't really work well, and I'll explain to you why really quickly, because this planner is my daily journal. So in addition to keeping track of things I've done in a day, you'll see that I have a lot of random thoughts, places we've been, things we're doing in here. So we'll go over that after we go over the cover. So this cover is one that my husband traded me to. I got it off Amazon. It actually doesn't fit the planner very well, so I'll just be fully transparent. Someone actually pointed that out. I don't think the HON is meant to be covered because it does have a hardcover, so you can see there's a little bit of an overhang as opposed to the regular Techo, the A6 Techo. But I fell in love with this cover. I love the way it feels. I'm okay with the fact that it kind of pops open. What I've been doing is just putting an elastic band around it here to kind of train it and stretch it a little bit, and it's been working fine with me. Or for me, rather. Alrighty, so going right in, I actually spent 2 seconds setting this up because I had ignored the setup of this planner. I was so far behind trying to keep up with 7 different planners that I just completely ignored the setup. I just threw the cover on that barely fit and went with it. So over here I just have a little sticky notepad that I got from the Sticky Club, I think at some point, and it just says fashionable buttons. I'm not sure quality wise when it comes to the sticky notes of the Sticky Club sticky notes. And so I would probably just use this as note paper to jot down quick notes. I honestly probably won't have a need for that, but if I do, it's here. Also I have here is the Sterling Ink February business card, thank you card, just because it fits so perfectly in there and it's pretty and I had a spot for it. I also have here the vellum that I need to tip in. Guys, it is such a struggle. I'm probably not going to do it on video, but I'll show you. I think I already showed you the January one. I was really proud of myself having been able to do it. I watch a lot of Plan With Me videos where people are able to do it with almost basically live, and I don't even know, maybe hopefully one day I'll get there. And then lastly I have one of my DIY paper clips here. I didn't make the paper clip, but just adding these ribbons. If y'all are interested in that, I think I have a video about that very simple DIY. I don't even know if you can call it a DIY. If I can find that from years ago, I'll try to link it in the card section up above. But yeah, I just randomly found it, and a picture of my 2 little barn kitties, Simon and Samson. They are the joy of my farm. We got them just a few months ago. They're so big, and I used my Canon IV2 that I just recently hauled to print it out, and I cut it in half. I think I had another photo the exact same size just below it. Alrighty, so that brings us right into this planner. So as I mentioned earlier, I've been using this for daily journaling. So I completely ignored the setup, and so there's no stickers, there's no embellishments, there's no information on the monthlies. So it's a little tragic, and I'm reflecting on that as I try to think about what I want to do in 2026 already. To be honest, guys, I'm debating whether I want to just move completely away from Hobonichi planners in 26. And yeah, so I'd be curious to hear your thoughts if anyone has been having similar sentiments or feelings. But yeah, anyways. for another video. So this is what I was talking about for the Sterling Ink January 2025 subscription. I got the $50, I think it's the deluxe kit in clear matte. I've been really enjoying it. It is a little pricey, so I'm debating whether or not I will continue it. Turns out every time I think about it, I get charged anyway on the 15th of every month, so I think I will be getting March as well. You can see here, and what I actually wanted to show you was how I have been using those stickers to tie all 7 of my planners together. Realistically, I don't use the stickers in all 7 of those planners, but for example, for the Hobonichi weeks, you can see that I have some of those same exact stickers in my weekly spreads, my Hobonichi weeks. I think it does help to create cohesion between my planners, but that's really, I guess, not that important and attractive. But it does help to make setting up spreads a lot easier because there's just so many stickers. Honestly, almost too many. And there was actually a viewer that which thank you so much, because I had asked your input and whether you guys suggested it, and someone mentioned that like the $50 subscription is like too many stickers, and I can kind of see that. I really can. And honestly, I've been debating whether or not for like the value, whether the value is there, because there's just so many sticker subscriptions available these days. So for example, I've been eyeing up the Hubman and Chub Girl ones, so maybe I will cancel the Sterling Ink one and try that one out for a while. I used to have Simply Gilded and Sticky Club, which, to be honest, I think I could probably afford both of those for the price of what I'm paying for Sterling Ink. So just a thought. So over here on the first day of January, you can see I've been doing a lot about, a lot of thinking and journaling about goal setting for 2025. You can tell I'm very behind, so embarrassingly so. If you guys are interested in hearing about how I set up, or my husband and I rather, work together to set up our goals for 2025, definitely let me know in the comment section down below. I'm so curious about like what your goals are for the year. For us, yeah, it took a lot of asking the question why, and I can go into more detail about that, but after doing that for a very long time, we came up with these top 3 goals, which is focusing on family, creating a home that we love, and slowing down to be more present. I actually forget number 3 often. That should be probably number 1 because it's been on our goal list for years now, and I honestly, we both feel like we have not achieved that yet. So probably a top goal. Over here, I just journaled about how blessed I was feeling. This is kind of silly now, looking back, that we were getting 5 eggs a day. So I started tracking in my everyday carry using my Zig Clean Color dot markers, how many eggs we were getting in a day, and found that on average, at some point, we were getting 5 eggs a day from 8 hens, which was amazing. Unfortunately, we just lost a hen, and I think it was somewhat, like, for you chicken lovers out there, you can probably understand where I'm coming from. I think it was a little traumatic for our hens and our flock, and so now we're down to 1 egg a day. And we are still so very grateful for it, but we were getting really excited to be able to share eggs with our friends and our coworkers, and unfortunately we're not in that position right now. But anyways, and I journal a lot about that in the upcoming days. So this spread here, you can kind of see a pattern. I've shared this before, I typically like to sit down and set up 2 daily, I guess, pages in one sitting. It helps it to be a little bit more cohesive and a lot easier to handle. So a lot of times if I do it in advance, I can project forward as to what we have planned. And then if I'm going backwards, then I already know what we've done and can highlight those things there. So people have asked in previous videos, much older videos, so don't know if those viewers are still out there, but if you are, have asked like what pens I use in my Hobonichi A6 daily journal. And so I just try to share with you as we go along. I have my very favorite Tombow Fude soft tip brush pen that I've shared with you before. I'll try to link it down below. I was buying the smaller packs from Amazon, and to be honest, these guys don't really run out of ink. Like, I haven't had an issue of them drying out. My issue is usually me losing it or dulling the tip to a point or getting like fuzzies in it. Anyways, so you can decide what's best for you. I've graduated to ordering like I don't know, 40 plus at a time. Not that I need that many, but it just encourages me to share with others. And yeah, so anyways, really one of my favorite pens. The other very favorite of mine is the Sarasa Mark-On, which I have right here in 0.5. I've tried the 0.4 because I actually really enjoy like the fine tip pens in a lot of my journals, but I find that the 0.5 doesn't skip at all. Like, it's just very solid go-to pen. Over here I have some of my Archer and Olive gel pens that I've collected over the years in having their subscription as well. Totally forgot about that subscription. And then of course my very favorite Energel Clenas in the 0.3 and 0.4. So I play around with the different thicknesses. Sometimes I also like to use my Muji 0.38, but not so much anymore. Alrighty, so I journaled a lot in this week about my rooster Lavar. It's actually short for Lavender. He's a Lavender Orpington, and I was really stressed out about it. He's one of 3 roosters that we have. So we had 12 chickens total, and we lost 1 hen. We just lost the second hen. We had 3 roosters. My husband is actually in the process of processing Lavar. But before we processed Lavar, it was months of contemplation for me. We've always known that we would want to learn to process our own chickens for many reasons. I did not realize when I started this journey that I would be processing roosters. Long story short, he was on the naughty list around the holidays because he had been stalking and attacking me. Luckily, he hasn't hurt me yet, but just recently he was out for blood and did attack me and make contact. And so I've been very scared, honestly. It doesn't, I would say I'm very, this is kind of embarrassing, but I've been kind of terrified to go out there and check for eggs, which is a joy of mine. On days that I'm home and able to check for eggs, I would do it 3 or 4 times a day. I would tell myself lately, because it's cold, that I don't want my eggs to freeze, but to be honest, I just like seeing my chickens, and it's just such a fun thing. It's like a Easter egg hunt for adults. Like, yeah, Easter egg hunts for adults. I don't know if I'll ever get old, and if you can relate, definitely share down below, because it is a joy of my day. And so I've been scared lately. I was cornered in their run that I built, of course, and he was attacking me, and luckily my husband came in and intervened. And instead of, so this was like weeks, over a month after he started attacking me, and it's just probably just not anyways. So he's out there right now, my husband, taking care of that, and I'm really grateful. But there was a lot of journaling involved, as you see, contemplation. I thought about making a lovely stock using him, and actually my husband and I talked about it as to whether or not I should be the one to process Lavar, and made the decision just a few minutes ago to maybe take a step back and film this video instead. Yeah, anyways, as kind of like as a process of making sure that I'm not scared of my chickens in the future. And so, well, anyways, hopefully that this one decision will not make me afraid. On that topic, I don't know if I journaled about it here, but I was telling a coworker of mine. I definitely did in a different one. Let's see if I can find it. I did here. So I was talking to a coworker of mine about the issues I was having, and like how sad I was about having to kill my rooster and process him. And he shared with me this popular dish that maybe many of you know that I did not know was, I'm going to butcher the pronunciation, coq ave, which is basically a French stew for like roosters that are a little tougher and older. And so we're gonna try that recipe and see how it goes. So I told my husband, I was like, I'm gonna skip the butchering this time, but I will gladly make you a nice meal. So anyways, that's that story. And so you can see a lot of that here. Also here around this date, we purchased our very first piece of farm equipment. I am so excited. It is so old. It is probably like close to how old I am, which is kind of crazy to think how much we paid for it. But we bought a very used skid loader, and my husband was so excited. I haven't seen him that happy. Sadly, I'm like, I don't make my husband that happy. No. For like over a year. So about a year ago, he bought his truck and he was so happy. Like he was just smiles all day. Like I would just look over. So on this day, these 2 days here, I would look over at him and he'd just be like gleaning. I didn't truly know the like meaning of gleaning until I looked over at him and he was just so happy. So I came up with a little happy list. It's instead of my happy list, it's how to make my husband happy. And I wrote buy him expensive toys, which actually he's pretty low maintenance. Cook a lot, carrot salads, he's been loving that. Be less demanding, question mark. And buying less things, also a question mark. So I thought that was fun. All right, so here I journaled a little bit about like how we were contemplating whether or not we would get a tractor. So I used some of my Happy Planner stickers. I wish that was my handwriting, but it's not. And about all the snow we've been getting. I've been really shocked this year about how much snow we've been getting. And for a while, the snow had come and gone. Like we would get snow once a week and then it would warm up and we wouldn't have to shovel or plow at all on the farm. And yeah, so now that is not the case. And I journaled a little bit about how it made me feel really sad for the chickens because my chickens at least do not like the snow. I get it. Their feet are so sensitive and they don't like the cold on their feet. And then one of them got taken by an eagle. I don't know if I shared that with you all. So the last hen got eaten or taken by an eagle. My husband, we didn't know at first. We just found blood and a pile of feathers, no trail, no tracks, and a bunch of bird, now I get why. And then anyways, the eagle came back the next day and my husband was like, I swear that was the biggest bird I've ever seen in my life. And it had like a 6 to 8 foot like arm span. I was like, no way. Anyways, but I am keeping an eye out for that eagle. And our hens and our chickens are honestly, I really think they're traumatized. So they're not coming out, even though the snow is starting to melt. Anyway, so journaled a lot about that. The next thing here, going back to those 2025 goals. So one of our goals is to create a space that we love. And in order to do that, we're thinking about how to expand our livable space and square footage to include space for guests and family and for visiting family and friends, which we don't have right now. We have a 1-bedroom. And so one of those thoughts is to expand into the attic. And so I developed a list or brainstormed a list of things that we need to do in order to finish the attic. It's one of our winter goals. And so I listed that here. We're going to clear some space. We're going to take measurements, come up with a design. We're going to thrift probably most of the materials when it comes to like the design elements, and then installing the insulation. Oh, it's out of order because I forgot the insulation, flooring, ceiling, and walls, and probably do some electrical upgrades up there as well. What I left off here too, now that I'm looking at it, which is really great practice and the reason why I did this, is to replace the windows. We got a couple windows up there that we can probably expand. Alrighty, so in this 2-day spread, I journaled a little bit about how we set up my pottery burn table. This was really fun, and actually, I don't know if I shared this in a previous video. I might have already. This Hobonichi 5-year daily diary helped me to realize that, like, maybe I didn't share this with you guys because I've tried to film this video so many times. But basically, the way it's laid out, I wish I could find the spread. I think it's the 11th. This is fun. Yeah, let me take the time to show you guys because this is pretty amazing. So I tried to block out the personal sensitive information. But basically here, this is the layout. I started it in 2023. It's 2025 and it ends in 27. I haven't figured out a good way to use the right side of this page. So for those of you out there who have, oh shoot, hopefully there was nothing too personal. But anyways, for those of you who have this, please let me know how you use the right side of this page because I'd be really interested to learn that. But basically, I found out in filling out the 11th of that planner that exactly 2 years ago on that day, after we had already reinstalled my table, my thrifted table, we had installed that table 2 years ago to the date, which was kind of crazy because it was not intentional at all. And in fact, I had not wanted to install the table this date because it's a hanging table that I originally bought for a tiny home that we never bought. So which I've journaled about and talked to you guys about before. Anyways, yeah, so I journaled about that here. What a coincidence that was. In both cases, I had been journaling before reading the prior, I guess, journal. Sorry, I'm blanking. But before reading what I wrote in 2023, I was journaling about how grateful I was that my husband is so handy and willing to do all these like DIY projects with me and home decor upgrades. But anyways, we thrifted this Pottery Barn table, allegedly, reading back to 23 for $40, which is such a steal because it was originally $300. Anyways, I have now, my husband has installed it in my office, which has really helped me to maximize on the usable space that I can use for planning, which of course, and crafting for sewing too. I haven't yet, but it is such a great setup for that, and I'm really excited. So I've journaled about that, using all of my happy planner stickers, some from Sticky Club, these cute little alpacas that I've accumulated over the years. So really excited. You can see here, this is when I started to tie in some of these February sterling ink stickers because I have so many of them. And I think, I guess I did quite a bit the other day. I wrote a little bit about the sourdough crackers that I have been making. I recently discovered sourdough. I'm very late to the trend. I actually really love sourdough. Not in the way that most people, I feel like, on YouTube like sourdough. It was really a tough start. What I love the most about sourdough is being able to share that love for sourdough with the people around me. So my husband does enjoy the crackers. I was able to share some starter that I made. I can't believe I made the starter myself because I think I saw online that like a lot of people are able to make starter in probably a couple weeks, and it took me like a month and change because I started in the winter. It was just not good. So proud of where we started and where I am now, and so journaling about that here. All right, let's see. I journaled a little bit about glasses and contacts. Losing Rhoda, which was our hen. She was so gorgeous. I love Rhode Island Reds. Like, I told my husband that, so when we lost her, where do I even start? So when we first got chicks, I wanted 4. And a dear friend of ours, I consider a dear friend of ours, she mentored us and was like, you're going to lose chickens. You want 4, get 8. So anyways, we ordered 6 and she gave us 6. And obviously she's right. We lost some chickens. And so I was starting to look at local hatchery where we bought the 6 chicks previously, and was telling my husband I just love the demeanor of the Rhode Island Reds, and so that's kind of where her name came from. Rhoda, her sister was Annie, and she was also a Rhode Island Red. But anyways, so we're rethinking that because I honestly really like, I don't like raising chicks. I just be honest, like chickens are really gross. Chicks are even more gross and needy. What I really love is allowing our chickens to naturally hatch and take care of their chicks, because you don't need a brooder, or rather, well, you don't need a brooder, but you also don't need like a heat lamp or a heating pad. So we have the heating pad because I feel like it's safer, but it still draws a lot of electricity, and I always worry about them. And having seen our chicken mama raise chicks naturally, that's definitely a preference. Anyways, that's a long story about chickens. I think this video is about planning and not chickens, and homesteading and farming. So this is more about Lavar. And then over here, this brings us to today. So today is Saturday the 18th, so depending on how long it takes me to edit this video, and I'm hoping to post it this weekend. I apologize for my lack of consistency, but yeah, so I journaled about how yesterday I virtually met. So I met a woman that is moving on from her homestead to the next season of her life. And it was so touching. It's like such a magical, like, hopefully, fingers crossed, it all works out. But I really had a connection with her just through the phone and texting. We think we're going to purchase some sheep from her and maybe some other things. But already thus far, just from a few phone calls and some texts, I've learned so much from her. I have my eyes on the cutest little lamb. She doesn't have a name yet, actually. Actually, she kind of does. I think it was like Hyacinth, but for some reason Jolene and Jojo has been speaking to me, but she's got a little bit of sass from the photos that I've seen, so we'll see. And then over here for tomorrow, I'm planning and preparing for the Saison Winter Archive Sale. Guys, I am so excited. I told my husband, I was like, dang, I should get I asked him, I was like, is my birthday coming up? It's not, but you know, kind of wink wink. I wish I had been saving specifically for the Saison Winter Archive Sale. I love Saison. I love the quality of their products, and so I am going to, fingers crossed, get something from Saison in this sale. If not, I'll probably just keep an eye out because things come and go. So anyways, friends, thanks so much. This is the simplicity of my life. Following this video, I will probably do a flip through of my Hobonichi weeks, just like an update in the notes section that I've been so proud of being able to keep up with. I've been keeping up with these weekly spreads to definitely drive productivity, keep track of the most important things. You can see here I have some meal planning incorporated as well, which is kind of new for me. So if you're interested in checking that out, definitely hit that subscribe button and that little notification bell down below. Thanks so much, friends, and until next time, bye everyone.